and colleague, Justice Bernstein. You are in for a treat. That's what I have to say. He is a absolute champion for disability rights. He is a champion every day on the court when it comes to access to justice, and in his everyday life, access to everything. And you will hear from him passion for this, and he is the most positive person that I have ever met. I can tell you that our job is very difficult, and it involves hours of reading and writing and research and talking to one another and talking to clerks. And I know how difficult it is for me and how much time I spend doing it, and it is even more difficult for Justice Bernstein because it takes longer for him. And I think about that every time I'm complaining about how tired I am. I think, well, Justice Bernstein is going through this, and it's taking him longer. So I have the privilege to introduce Justice Bernstein.
The earth shook. There was great thunder and lightning as the storm raged. A battle had ensued as an angel was sent down to visit upon Jacob. And as Jacob fought with the angel, the battle raged forcefully. It felt like there was no end. Fire, lightning, thunder. It was said the planet ultimately shook as the battle raged until the sun rose. And upon the dawn, the angel blessed Jacob, and he changed his name from Jacob to Israel. And upon the name being changed to Israel was translated to struggle with God. Struggle with God. The beauty of what you do is that you're a part of that struggle. The beauty of what you do is that you will help folks to find the strength to endure that struggle. We all find that struggle within us. We all find that battle within us. We all find that intensity within us. We all must have to face that struggle. For we all must ask the question as to why. We all must ask the question about justice and fairness and equality. We all have to face that immense struggle that Jacob faced. But ultimately, even though Jacob was successful in his battle with the angel, he was still left with a permanent disability. For after that night, Jacob would always walk with a limp and would always face pain. Perhaps it could be said that a person who is chosen to lead a people must have that imperfection, must have that struggle, must have that difficulty. Perhaps the Creator feels that one can only lead if they understand the hardship and pain and difficulty that their friends and their neighbors and their colleagues have to experience every day. Perhaps the Creator felt that no one should lead unless they can empathize or understand or have the ability to connect with people. Perhaps the Creator felt that those who go through life without the struggle, without the hardship, without the pain, without the difficulty, lack the understanding necessary to be a true, genuine leader. A wonderful young mother called me as I had just begun practicing law. And she reached out and she said, "Richard, I'm calling you because I know that you have a passion and a concern for people with disabilities. So I'm asking you this question. What kind of a life is my newborn child going to have? I look at all my friends, I look at all their families, and their children are healthy and vibrant. They go to birthday parties, they go to school, they live an active life. I'm a good mom. I'm a person. I've done all that I've been asked to do. I follow all the rules. But I want to understand why it is that of all the people in the world, God would choose me to have a child with severe special needs. So tell me this. What kind of a life is my newborn going to have? Do you think he's ever going to make any friends? Do you think my baby's ever going to go to school? Will my house be filled with the sounds of other children? Will my child ever get married and have a family? Will he ever live independently? And what's going to happen to him when I'm no longer here to care for him? She went on to ask the question, when do you think my life and my child's life and my family's life will ever be ordinary? And when do you think we will reach a point where we will no longer have to suffer? It is our life experiences that the Creator gives to us for a reason, for a purpose. It is our life experiences that define us. It is our life experiences that allow for us to appreciate and understand the world to which we live. I remember having a conversation when I first got elected to be a justice. The question was, what are the qualities that go into being a good judge? As the discussion continued, people said, oh, well, it's pretty obvious. It's really about what school you went to, and your academics, and your grades, and your intellectualism, your ability to research, and to write, and to publish. I remember saying that I think there's something more. There's something more. And when asked what that was, I responded, it's our life experiences. Our life experiences allow for us to understand our mission, our story, our purpose, our reason for creation. It's our life experiences that give us wisdom, they give us compassion, they allow for us to connect with others. It's our life experiences that we are given that allow for us to do things that can be impactful, that can be effective, that can lead to great change. An easy life does not always correspond to a good one. Often it is those who walk among us that have to know struggle, pain, and loss. They're the ones who go through life that will truly live it for a reason. Live it with its mission. Have a focus. Have a tenacity. Have a determination to do what they are ultimately sent here to do. I remember answering this mother's question by referring back to my own life experiences and telling her that from this point forward, there will be nothing about your life, or your child's life, or your family's life that will ever be ordinary. You simply have to believe that your child was created to be nothing less than extraordinary. And I don't believe that the Creator would ever send someone to our planet with the idea that they should ever have to suffer. But there are some who walk among us that do have to struggle. And it's through that struggle that you come to find your identity. It is through that struggle that you come to find that sense of purpose. You come to find why you were created. You come to realize that you are part of something bigger and grander than you can possibly imagine. That you're part of a plan that is bigger than you. A plan that we can't understand or even begin to comprehend, but that you're part of something big and you're part of something noble and you're part of something great. We ask the question that you will undoubtedly ask as you continue to do your service and that you will do your work. You will have the chance to interact with students and their families who have to work hard for nothing comes easy, who requires tremendous effort to do the simplest of things, who take nothing for granted. And you will come to ask yourself this question. For you will be working with blind, you will be working with hearing impaired, you'll be working with all types of disabilities. But you will come to find that there are people who have physical disabilities. You will come to find that there are people who have cognitive disabilities. And you will come to find that there are people who face tremendous health issues and struggles. You will come to find that there are people who will not have the chance to live with us or be with us as long as you will. You will ask yourself an eternal question. You will ask, why is it that if God is so great and so merciful and so kind, He allows for bad things to happen to otherwise such good people? Why is it that there are some who walk among us that have to know this greater struggle or greater hardship or greater challenge than others can possibly imagine or even attempt to comprehend? You will come to learn about perspective. You will come to realize as you interact, as you engage, as you expose yourself to as many people as possible, the beautiful gifts that they have been given. You will come to find that they have been chosen. For they are given the blessing of understanding. They are given the blessing of compassion. They are given the blessing of empathy, but they are given the blessing of tremendous sense of purpose, tremendous mission, tremendous focus, and you will come to find that those are the kind of people who, upon reaching the end of their days, do not always get to live a happy life, but they live a life with incredible meaning. They live a life of incredible fulfillment. You will come to find that they are strong. You will come to find that they are resilient, and you will come to find that they exist within their spirit and soul a power that is simply unmatched. Yes, an easy life does not always correspond to a good one. And often it is through struggle, hardship, and pain that you will come to find your mission, your purpose, and your focus. So often you will find when you work with those who have disabilities that you will often ask them, do you think you'll ever heal? When you interact with someone who's gone through a life-changing event, you'll ask them, do you think you're ever going to recover? So often when people go through transformational changes, the common expression that people make is, oh, that person's going to make a full recovery. What you're going to come to see in the work that you all do is that in life, often it is the case that we don't get to recover. Most people don't. But the ones who thrive are the ones who are able to adapt. To adapt to a new circumstance, to adapt to a new situation, to adapt to a brand new life. We don't always get the lives that we want. We don't always get the lives that we pray for. But we do get lives of meaning and joy and purpose. What you will find as young people, as you go through the world and you experience the plan that you're on, the path that you're participating in, is that you will see with the folks that you're going to work with, is that the lessons that they have learned from the experience that they've been given allow for them to live the most extraordinary of lives and allow for them to have the most incredible wisdom. It's always about perspective. Learn from them, take from them. The simple idea that as you go through life, as you go through your schooling, you're going to have bad days, bad weeks, bad months, sometimes even bad years. But when you look to people that can find just enough good, that can find just enough joy, that little bit of good, that little bit of joy, allows for them to balance out all the hardship, all the pain, and all the suffering that would otherwise come about from their circumstance or situation or ultimate destiny. So why is it that bad things happen to otherwise such good people? Why is it that there are some who walk among us that have to know a greater struggle or a greater hardship than others can possibly imagine or even attempt to comprehend? Our experiences are given to us for a reason. Now, I've been blessed in my life. I've had the opportunity of completing 21 marathons and a full Ironman competition. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Ironman, it is a 2.4-mile swim, to be followed by a 112-mile bike, to be concluded by a 26.2-mile run. The rules of the competition are quite simple. If you stop, if you rest, if you take a break, you run the risk of missing a cutoff. If a cutoff is missed, you will be immediately disqualified from the competition. If you finish at 12:05 instead of 12 o'clock, it's like you were never even there. 2 years of effort, work, and training will literally be for nothing. So I invite you to imagine how it would feel to dive into a frigid body of water. The water temperature that morning of Lake Coeur d'Alene was 55 degrees. I invite you to imagine swimming in total darkness. You have no idea where you started. You have no idea where you're going. And most terrifyingly, you have no idea where you are. Being the only disabled competitor, you repeatedly get kicked in the face by all the other swimmers. Being blind, you can't brace for the ensuing impact. You try to surface, but it's impossible because there's other people who are swimming above you. And lastly, the rope that connects you to your guide becomes entangled and ensnared with other swimmers. And as the rope becomes constricted, it starts taking you below the water where you start to drown. You have to work with your guide. You have to be peaceful and methodical. You have to try to untangle the rope from the other swimmer who's become attached to you. Do it in a calm, appropriate, critical way. And ultimately move forward where you face the same challenge again. In life, when you're going through pain or when you're scared, or when the outcome is unknown, you'll come to find that that's when miracles will take shape. And what you will find as you work with disabled students, you spend time with them and you get to know them, so you will find that they are ultimately surrounded by angels. You will come to see that, yes, often it is the case that some of us are created infirm. Some of us are clearly mortal. It's always those people who have the strongest of souls, the most powerful of spirits. And often you come to realize that the body will always have limitations, but the spirit truly knows no bounds. So why is it that bad things happen to otherwise such good people? And why is it that there are some who walk among us that have to know a greater struggle or a greater hardship or a greater challenge than others can possibly imagine or attempt to comprehend? You will find as young people that life can change in an instant. It was a beautiful morning in New York Central Park, August 13th to be exact. I was walking in the pedestrian lane. I've memorized the loop that serves as the circumference of Central Park because that's where my running club does our training. So I'm able to walk without an escort or without a guide. I can do it independently. East and West Drive serves as a wonderful loop that allows for you to circumference the park. So I was walking in the pedestrian lane. I reached the bottom of the park's biggest hill at 91st Street. A bicyclist was traveling over 35 miles an hour. The bicyclist was unable to maintain control to such a high rate of speed, and when hitting the hill, veered into the pedestrian lane where I was walking and struck me directly in the back. A 35-mile impact is catastrophic to say the absolute least. This required over 10 weeks of hospitalization at New York's Mount Sinai Hospital. So why is it that bad things happen to otherwise such good people? And why is it that there are some who have to know a greater struggle or a greater hardship than others? It's difficult when you use athletics to find your identity, to find your strength, to couple with your blindness. At that point, I had done 17 marathons, a full Ironman, and now was unable to do anything by myself. Well, you will come to find, as you go through your journey, as you listen to your parents and hear the stories of their lives, the people that they've known, those who are no longer with us, you'll come to ultimately find that these experiences do happen for a reason. We don't understand or appreciate them, and we're not meant to enjoy them. Life is not about being happy. Life is not about smiling. Life is not about laughing. Life is not about giggling. So often people walk around and say, oh, I'm always happy, but that's not real. We're not meant to always be happy. We're not always supposed to be filled with joy. We're supposed to find a sense of peace and meaning to why we are here. It's the little things in life that you truly miss the most. You miss what it's like to have the chance to take a shower. You miss what it feels like to actually use the bathroom. You miss how it feels to sleep through the night without having to arrive in a pain that is indescribable unless you've gone through it. Remember as you learn with the students you're going to learn with. Remember the lessons of Tower Guard. Life is always about the little things. It's never about the big. People used to come and visit, and I'd ask them, so where are you going to go after you leave Sinai? They always tell me how they're going to go and do some shopping or go back to the office. They're going to go and meet a friend for dinner. I always tell them, those are the things that I dream of. Those are the things that people with disabilities long for. Those are the things that people with disabilities pray for. Those are the things that people with disabilities ask God for each and every night. They don't ask for the big things. They ask for the ability to walk outside or take a bus. They ask for that opportunity to sit in a restaurant and smell the food and interact with their friends and neighbors. It's never the big. It's always the small. But what I ask you to do as you embark on this journey is I ask for you to celebrate every victory that you have here at Michigan State. I ask for you to celebrate the joy that comes from working with the disabled. I ask you to find that excitement that comes with each and every accomplishment. And I ask for you to see the lessons that they are so blessed with. The humanity, the kindness, the warmth, the energy, the spirit. I remember there was a wonderful nurse who I grew very close with. When you're in a hospital for that long, you become very close with the nurses and the doctors and the physician care, the folks that would help lift you and carry you and do all the things that you could no longer do for yourself. And there was one nurse who knew that the one thing that I wanted more than anything else was to have a hot shower. Sponge baths are cold and uncomfortable, and the one thing that I asked for was to have a shower. So, on Sunday morning, I went to the bathroom. The bathroom is designed so that the shower can come out because I couldn't go in. They allowed the hot water to run across my skin and across my body. But consequently, when you do that, the entire bathroom starts to flood, which presents problems for the other rooms and the people downstairs and for all the folks within the hospital. But the amazing people, the nurses and the folks that would clean and would do the kind of hard, heavy lifting, understood how much I wanted this. So they would work overtime to dry the bathroom, to clean, to vacuum, to scrub, to allow for this to be done in such a way that no damage would be done to the rest of the hospital. Every week, for 5 minutes, I got to have that wonderful warm shower. It's kind of a blessing when you go through life and you get to see the good in people. You get to see how kind people are. You get to see the angelic spirit that everybody has that you get to be around. It can be a nice way to live. It was interesting. I remember I was asked in Grand Rapids 2 weeks ago, what is it that the world needs now? And I remember answering the question by thinking back to a speech I gave to the United Nations. People just couldn't understand how it was that a blind person could serve as a judge. They couldn't grapple with this notion that someone who's blind could be on their state's highest court. How do you do the reading? How do you understand veracity? How can you keep up with the work? How can you visit a crime scene? How can you understand photos and documents? How is this even remotely possible? And then one reporter said something I'll always remember. When she said, just how American is that? That a blind person could be elevated to such a position. Just how American is that? We have to remember who we are. We have to remember that we are a kind people. We are a warm people. We are an energetic people. We are an optimistic people. The work that you're doing for Tower Guard is part of that tradition. It's part of that nobility. It's part of that energy. It's part of that excitement. It's part of that enthusiasm that we as Americans have. That notion that anything and everything is possible. That boundless spirit of optimism that says that nothing can stop us. You're joining that tradition. You're part of that tradition. You will carry that tradition. In my last remaining moments that I have with you today, I want to share with you one remaining story. It goes back to the idea of celebrating every victory, no matter how small or inconsequential you think it is. It merits celebration. In my circumstance, I remember celebrating the fact that I was finally, with a lot of work, able to sit up in bed. I celebrated the fact that I was able to finally start using a walker. And I celebrated the fact that I was able to finally visit the nurses at the nurses' station at the end of the war. We don't all get to recover. We do have the power to adapt. It was a short time ago that it was time for the New York City Marathon. Now, running the New York City Marathon with a shattered hip and crushed pelvis was going to be difficult, to say the least. The hospital wasn't thrilled about it, the physicians weren't crazy about it, but people understood that it was something that had to be done. Now, I used to be a graceful runner. That was in the past. This was going to be a new type of a circumstance. You wouldn't be making any records, you wouldn't be defying any great odds, you wouldn't be ultimately turning over times that I was able to beat. It would be slow, it would be challenging, it would be difficult, and by no means would it be graceful or elegant. So we ran to the streets of New York. The pain was becoming so severe. At mile 18, we crossed the 59th Street Bridge and began running up First Avenue. And I remember reaching up to the heavens and praying to the Creator that He would give me the strength to reach the finish. I remember saying, I can handle the pain, I can work through this, but I just can't lose consciousness. And I simply can't pass out. So please, let me just get to the finish. And you will find what I found in those moments. When it's really painful and when it's incredibly difficult, that's when you come to find a certain sense of peace. You find peace with your new body, your new circumstance, and your new life. Most importantly, you come to find a sense of peace with our Creator. So I conclude by asking you the question that we started with. Why is it that bad things happen to otherwise such good people? Why is it that there are some who walk among us that have to know this greater struggle, hardship, and pain than others? You will find through your work in Tower Guard the answer to this question. When you work with the students and their families and the folks that you'll have the opportunity to befriend, you will come to find that they have one trait in common. You will come to realize at a certain point in life, you can't spend your time and your effort and your energy trying to get over it. For you come to realize that you have no other option but to just get on with it. For as you go through life, you will come to learn. It is those that will do what is hard to achieve no less than what is truly great. I challenge you to look at your studies and to look at your life like a great novel. Within any work of art, there will always be chapters of pain, struggle, and hardship. It's only through those chapters you will come to find hope, joy, and triumph. Celebrate life. Find the joy in life, for its good and for its bad. But come to embrace your experiences. Come to accept the pain. Come to realize that it will always be a part of you. But allow for that to shape you and allow for that to change you. If I hadn't had the experiences I've had, I wouldn't be as kind or merciful or understanding of a judge. Our life experiences are given to us for a reason.